And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the 2021 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series, hosted right here on Gran Turismo Sport. We are back at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Of course, we hosted a race here earlier this season on the Triangle Oval layout. However, here we are, Infield A, very similar layout to the Daytona Road Course. 11 drivers from 3 different countries lined up, set up to take the green flag for round 17 of the season, second to last race of the 2021 season here, third annual NOSSCAR GT Cup Series season coming to a close, and it's AMS Master on the pole for this race, leading them to the line. The green flag is in the air, and we are rocking and rolling here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, the Infield, folks. AMS Master, you'll see him full-time in the World Championship as well, making his debut here in the GT Cup Series. He's out front right now in the Subaru. Even Steven runs in second, comes into this race as the points leader and looking to keep it that way with only 2 races remaining. Hymack starts in third, second in the point standings, and he's the only one sort of within striking distance of even Steven, but he needs for Steven to have a couple of bad races here in these last 2. Swift gets a little bit sideways there. It's his debut here in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series, driving the Mazda Atenza. The Mazda team picked him up here as a third car. Bill Baldwin just behind him, running in 5th. Revenant running in 6th, and Juicy J runs in 7th. Juicy enters this race 3rd in the point standings. It's been a solid season for him. Behind them, El Sui out of the U.S. runs in 9th, and he's being challenged for that position. There's F1 driver DT3 out of Great Britain. And the McLaren scored in 8th. Didn't qualify where he wanted to, but he's trying to soldier back. Shadow rounds out the top 10 in the Ferrari. Meanwhile, back up front, still AMS Master. Turn the leaderboard on for you folks, left-hand side of your screen, and you'll also see a track map top right-hand corner of your screen as we are rocking and rolling here. Round 17 of the 3rd annual GT Cup season, round second to last race, rather, here in 2021 for these GT Cup drivers driving the GR3 cars with no custom tuning. The balance of performance setting is turned on for these drivers, and what that means is all the horsepower and the weight of these cars has been shifted and altered up and down here and there just to even out the playing field and make it very much about driver versus driver. And the top 2 have broken away from the rest of the field a little bit, and that's AMS Master and even Steven. Hymack scored in 3rd as kind of the leader of the second group. There's Bill Baldwin, comes into this race 5th in the point standings in that Mazda Atenza. He's missed a race this season as well, so he's missing 1 race where he could have got some points. And as you can see, and as you've been seeing all season long, he's very much a top 5 competitor. So that's about anywhere from 17 to 25 points lost. Juicy J has picked up a couple of spots since the beginning of this one. Whoa, we saw a big wiggle there by Revenant to the Ford Mustang, that most recent time by. Hanging on to it so far. It is his debut race here, and he's driving the Ford Mustang, the only Ford in the field. Really nice paint job. Number 42. The only driver out of Great Britain in this one. DT3 there in the McLaren, scored in 8th. Shadow has worked his way to 9th, and El Sui having problems early in this one. He has dropped back into the 11th position. He's just gained one of those positions back from Crazy Legs, but it continues to be a bit of a rough start for that driver. There's a number of drivers making their debut here in this race, and one of them is leading this race. That is AMS Master, and he's already been confirmed and signed for Team Canada for the World Championship in the Super Formula cars. Interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see rather how he does over there. And you can find those races on the NOSSCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. That they'll be driving the Super Formula cars. Even Steven has actually lost ground now to the race leader, AMS Master. He's actually fallen back into the clutches a little bit of the Godfather, Bill Baldwin. Bill, a two-time NOSSCAR Super GT Series champion, driving that number 21 Mazda Atenza. And he's been able to go up there and take third away from Tymac earlier in this race. And has a podium spot, and he's running down Even Steven slowly but surely. Even Steven is actually going to lose the second place position as they go into turn one. Again, very similar layout to the Daytona Road Course, down the long straightaway and into the long swinging left-hand turn, and then into the infield they go. And yeah, folks, Bill Baldwin has emerged with the second place position for now. And those two cars battling a little bit. That did allow the two Nissan GTR cars, Tymac and Juicy J, to gain a little bit of ground and close that gap just a bit. They are still scored 4th and 5th. Of course, Tymac, 2 wins for him this season, second in the point standings. He's chasing Even Steven for the championship here in the GT Cup Series, but he's well behind him coming into this race, and it's going to take a miracle at this point for Ty to do anything about the championship picture. UCJ third in the standings coming into this one. Consistently top 5 material all season long, has stood on the podium several times. And he's come very close to winning a couple of these races. In fact, came 3/100ths of a second close to winning at Dragon Trail round 7 earlier this season. And the battle is still on back here. Oh, never mind, that is not a battle for position. Crazy Legs. 1 lap down in the 10th place position. We do have one driver out of the race already. Cars remaining on the racetrack. There's Shadow battling for 8th with Elswee. Elswee dropped back to 11th at one point in this race, so pretty good rebound for him so far. It's been all AMS Master. The reason why we're not really showing the battle for the lead too much is because there really isn't one. He's consistently driving away and looking quicker than the competition at this point. The leaderboard on the left-hand side of your screen for you, and we're watching the battle here for 2nd and 3rd between Bill Baldwin and Even Steven, 2 drivers who know each other very, very well. Raced each other hundreds of times here on Gran Turismo Sport, here in NOSSCAR and in sport mode races, and 2 of the very best to ever grace the wheel here on Gran Turismo Sport on the PlayStation 4 console. They're going out here for 2nd and 3rd, and trying to find a way to gain ground on your current race leader. Even Steven, 2019 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series champion, missed out on this championship last year to Pac-Man, and he's looking to rebound and become a 2-time GT Cup champ. He's riding along in 3rd here so far, Blue Moon Bay Speedway. And here's the thing he's got to keep in mind: he's mathematically got it clinched when it comes to everyone except for Tymac. So he's really only got to worry about beating that number 32 Nissan GTR here today. And so he doesn't need to push as hard as he possibly can to run down AMS Master or Bill Baldwin. He just simply needs to stay in front of that Nissan GTR driven by Tymac. Tymac, of course, 2 wins this season, 2nd in the point standings. This year's Rolex 8 winner for the NOSSCAR Super GT Series, driving the 2011 Audi R18. So much like Even Steven and much like Bill Baldwin, he had to climb a mountain to dig back and get back the points that he lost for not getting points here in the GT Cup Series in round 1. Of course, the 8 hours of Le Mans was round 1 for both the Super GT Series and GT Cup Series for their 2021 seasons. So all these drivers were forced to make a decision, and some of them did not get points for one of the series, and we're a little bit behind right off the start. And it made it quite the challenge for some of these drivers. We saw Ned, the points leader, for a while here this season. Then we saw Juicy J take the points lead for a few races. And then we saw Even Steven climb the mountain and take the points lead back. Nine wins for Even Steven this year. Most wins of any driver this season. It's an 18-race season, and here we are for round 17. So Even Steven's batting over 50% here. He's batting over 500 for the 2021 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series. He's having a good battle still with Bill Baldwin for second and third. Still very much undecided between those two, whereas the battle for fourth and fifth still very much alive as well between the two Nissan GTR teammates, and that's Timac and UCJ. 7 cars left on the lead lap at this time, and the leader is working lap 11. Here he comes back out onto the oval portion of this circuit, and back towards the start-finish line. Over 13 minutes into this one now, and it seems like the advantage certainly going to AMS Master. He's got the speed advantage, he has the track position, and when you don't have cars behind you battling you for position, it allows you to take every corner the way that you want, and you don't need to stress your tires out as much as some of these others that have been battling for position pretty much ever since the green lights turned on. Even Steven comes to pit road. UCJ comes to pit road as well, and it's looking like a 3-stop strategy perhaps for those two drivers. And back onto the racetrack goes Even Steven. He will hold on to third. Timac has already been to pit road as well. It was the lap before, so evidently the 3-stop strategy appears to be the more popular decision. Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Again, folks, we were here earlier this season for the oval race. It was the first of 2 oval races this season, and it was JRB parking in a victory lane. Wild race there, and it is available for the viewers on the NOSSCAR Series Racing YouTube channel, so if you missed it, definitely go and check it out after this one. And Bill Baldwin on pit road for service, and the number 21 Mazda Atenza surrendering a top 3 spot. The McLaren of F1 driver DT3 out of Great Britain came to pit road as well. 9 cars left active and racing on the racetrack right now. And so the first round of green flag scheduled pit stops in the history books, and some drivers going with some wild strategies here, doing everything they can to get as much track position as they can. And the one big winner out of the sequence seems to be Revenant in the Ford Mustang. All the way up into fourth. He's able to leapfrog Timac and Juicy J in the pit stop sequence, and finds himself in the top 5 and a shot to maybe put it on the podium here at the end of the day. Bill Baldwin still holding on to second over Even Steven. And again, Even Steven doing everything he needs to do. He's playing out this race exactly the way he needs to. He knows all he needs to do is keep Timac behind him for 2 more races. And even if Timac does go out there and beat him a couple of times, Timac is a full race behind Even Steven in points, so it's going to take a miracle at this point. Even Steven would need to drop to the tail of the field and finish 9th in this one right here and now, and then maybe DNF in the season finale in Brazil. While Even Steven is doing everything that he needs to do, he's doing everything right. Timac is not doing too much wrong either. The only thing he's not doing is he's not in front of that number 15 Audi R8. Instead, he finds himself behind him and running in the 5th place position. He was in 4th for just a moment there. He's challenging Revenant. The Ford Mustang got really sideways there. just a little bit ago, and Timac needed to lift a little bit to let him regain himself, and now he completes the pass as they go through the S's. And one more corner until he's back out onto the oval portion of this circuit, and that was a clean textbook pass. Timac now moves into fourth, but he's going to need to find a little bit more pace if he's going to run down the top three drivers. And the main one, really the only one that he needs to run down right now is Even Steven. And Even Steven is about a 5-second gap over Timac at this point. 5-second advantage in between third and fourth. And Bill Baldwin, the Godfather, two-time Super GT Series champion, making it look easy. He's been in the top three for most of this race, and he's still trying to find some pace to run down AMS Master. It's been unbelievable, actually, to watch him ride around this racetrack at the pace that he's been going in that Subaru. And Subaru car, that WRX, is no stranger here to the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series. Back in 2019, it was Even Steven winning the championship here in the GT Cup Series, driving that very car, and since then he's moved on to the Audi team, and potentially going to win the championship here again in 2021, twice in 3 years. He's looking to do it, two different cars. But yeah, AMS Master doing a great job, giving the Subaru car another shining moment here in the sun. I'd say the closest battle for position towards the front is definitely the one for second and third, and it seems like Bill's getting the better of it so far. But then again, these 60-minute endurance races, they really do open the door for different kinds of strategy. You gotta wonder if maybe Even Steven is saving his tires a little bit while riding around in the tracks of Bill Baldwin. I can tell you Revenant is on pit road and his fuel tank's looking pretty low, so I'm thinking that it was a tires only stop for his first pit stop of the race, and now electing to fill it up and send it back out after his second pit stop of the event. He's on a very different strategy from the rest of the competition, now scored in P6. Shadow running in 7th in the Ferrari. And it's Crazy Legs running in the 8th position in the number 42 Chevy Corvette. 8 cars left on the racetrack, 11 started, so we've had a little bit of attrition in this one. And they're all chasing the Canadian AMS Master. And first name Enzo. Confirmed for the World Championship this year here on Gran Turismo Sport, driving those Super Formula cars, and he'll be on Team Canada and more than likely leading the charge. This driver has a bright future in NOSSCAR, and the buzz around the garage area has been high, and it's been loud about this young man coming over and joining and racing in NOSSCAR on Gran Turismo Sport, and he's arrived. He's here and making one big splash in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series. He's led the most laps in this race. His second pit stop of the day is complete. He's down and away, not risking any type of full course yellow, and right now scored in P3. And Bill Baldwin is going to take the race lead as a result of AMS Master Enzo coming to pit road a little bit sooner. A short pit deal there when it comes to his second pit stop of the race. He's not going to be in trouble for fuel or anything like that. I think AMS Master is just making sure he doesn't get leapfrogged for position through a pit stop sequence, and he's electing to play it safe, come down a lap or two sooner than what he thinks some of these other drivers would be doing. And they stay on the track one more time, and they're still logging quick laps here. There's no sign of these two drivers saving any type of fuel or saving their tires at all, and they're still soldiering forward here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. And just as I say that, Bill Baldwin's going to bring it to pit road for scheduled service for that Mazda Atenza, and this is going to lead Even Steven, 2019 GT Cup champ and the two-time NOSSCAR World Champion, to lead this race. Third different race leader today at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, the Infield, folks. We're road coursing here at Blue Moon Bay. And all of these pit stops, they move Timac up into the third place position, but keep in mind he's going to need to come to pit road relatively soon to keep that three-stop strategy going. And now even Steven had to come back to pit road, I believe. Yeah, there was, oh, never mind, folks, scheduled pit stop for the number 15 Audi R8. It's the first time he's come to pit road. And Juicy J and the Nissan GTR back onto the racetrack as well. 4 cars left on the lead lap at this time, and I do believe we still have a couple of cars left to bring it down pit road before this sequence is completely over. And Timac in the number 32 Nissan GTR drove it all the way up to second there because of staying out a couple of extra laps, and now he surrenders that position. He's going to come to a stop in his pit stall. It's scheduled service here for him, and he's close enough at this point. He might be able to go from here to the end, all the way to the checkered flags on the fuel and tires that he has. And that would be a wild strategy. That's a great way to approach this race. You pit at the 15-minute mark, you get everybody thinking it's a three-stopper for you, and then if you can, you go 25 minutes on that stint, and then pit at about the 40-minute mark, surprise them that way, and turn it into a two-stopper. I like it, I really do. Don't think it's going to be enough to run down AMS Master in this I don't know, high-speed chess match. The pace that he's been putting on here today has been unbelievable. And I think that he's got this well in the bag, but this strategy might be enough for Timac to maybe get around and get in front of even Steven on the leaderboard and gain a couple of points on him. It's exactly what he needs to do. It's the second to last race of the season. And as we sit, even Steven is your points leader, and it's a large gap. It's about a 25-point gap to Timac, and the only chance Ty has is for even Steven to have a couple of bad races, and that's really not like him whatsoever. Another solid day for Juicy J, former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. Has a win as well in NOSSCAR on NASCAR Heat 5 in the Legends Series. He's come so close a couple of different times to getting his first career NOSSCAR GT Cup Series win. But that first career NOSSCAR Super GT Series win came for him just last week at Brazil, the season finale for that series, and it was a wild one there. Congratulations to Juicy. It was a well-deserved and hard-fought victory for him at a very challenging track. How about Shadow in the Ferrari? Triple Crown winner in NOSSCAR on the NASCAR Heat Games, and a top 10 caliber driver here in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series every week. Oh, and there was a problem there in that last corner for him, but overall a pretty good race for Shadow. 11 cars started, and he had about 9th place pace until the attrition began, and now he finds himself in 6th and doesn't seem to be in any type of danger of losing that position. Crazy Legs dealing with some handling problems as well. And we can tell you Bill Baldwin has been to pit road for service, and now here comes Shadow as well. More than likely it will be his last pit stop of the race. And we can tell you Juicy J was on pit road 2 laps ago as well. And Timac was also on pit road, and everybody has kind of played out their hand here, played their strategy to the best of their abilities, and they pretty much have what they have from now until the finish. And when you look at where these drivers are on the racetrack, the closest battle for position would be the one for 3rd and 4th between Timac and Bill Baldwin. Actually, I'm getting my notes mixed up, and I could have swore I just saw something different on the screen there, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Ty and Bill both still need to come to pit road. I'm really not too sure. But what I do know is somehow, some way, even Steven has found his way in front of those two, and now he's set sail and trying to run down AMS before the end of this one. And the good news for him is AMS has a couple of lap cars that he's dealing with here. 4 cars remaining on the lead lap now as he puts Juicy J 1 lap down, but this might distract him. This might slow him down a bit. Maybe not. Maybe it's not going to do any of that. Master goes right on through, and wow, and he got the left sides way off in the grass that most recent time by through that section of the racetrack, and that was wild. I'm a little bit surprised he held on to it, and he's doing it again here. The car was nearly completely sideways, and he's doing a great job holding on, and Juicy J is going to get around him. It's not for position, but it's to get himself back onto the lead lap. So 5 cars left on the lead lap here, and that was wild. There was some crazy driving there. And that's why he's confirmed, folks, for the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship in the Super Formula cars. We will see him there as well. It's been a heck of a debut for AMS Master, and it's been a good race for the points leader, even Steven, as well, as we have under 4 minutes left in this one. He did everything right. He did everything he needed to do. Came in, got good points, the best that he possibly could. It's been looking like he's going to finish in 2nd, and the main thing, the most important thing, he kept his championship rival behind him. Timac looking like he's going to finish in 3rd. He is gaining a little bit of ground on even Steven, but he's not gaining it quick enough, not even close, to run him down here with about 3.5 minutes remaining. Bill Baldwin came into this race 5th in the point standings, gained a lot of ground on Jesse Carlson, who was not able to be here for today's event in that number 48 Chevy Corvette. So Bill doing everything he can as well. He's not going to win the championship this year, but a top 5 in the final standings would definitely serve him well, and he would definitely walk away happy with that, I would think. Juicy J was the points leader at one point this season. Lost it to even Steven, was unable to gather it back, and now sits 3rd in the point standings with a pretty firm lock on it. Just needs to keep bringing it home in the top 5 every week like he has been in order to lock that up completely. We saw him lock up the right front tire there a moment ago, and it went straight on into the wall. Some minor contact between the two, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Wait a minute, folks, we got something developing here. We might have a battle for the lead here at the end of this race. Even Steven making a very late race charge. And AMS is running for his life here with 30 seconds left on the clock. I don't think they're going to get back to the line before it expires. I think it will be at the 1 hour mark when they get there, and therefore they will see the checkered flag as well. It's going to be really close. And I'll tell you, even Steven, I bet he wishes he had one more lap. I don't know where this was all race long, but he has really turned up the wick, and he was running down Enzo towards the end. It's not going to be enough, and in his debut, Enzo for Canada wins here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. First career NOSSCAR GT Cup Series win. And he is a confirmed driver for this year's World Championship, and showing us why, folks. Even Steven, the points leader, going to bring it home in second, and Timac now crosses the line to be the third and final driver on the podium. Here for round 17 at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, the Infield, folks. We went road coursing here at Blue Moon Bay today. Congratulations once again to Enzo, AMS Master, and congratulations to all of these drivers for giving us a fantastic race, and we hope the fans and the viewers who tuned in enjoyed the show. And congratulations once again to AMS Master, and from all of us here at NOSSCAR, we're saying so long and stay fast, folks.